Hey everybody, it's Becky. Welcome to my channel. Even though it's still summer break for a lot of us, the new school year is right around the corner. This summer has literally flown by. The fastest summer I think we've ever had, which is kind of odd given the state of the world right now. You kind of would think time would go really slowly. This year has just literally gone by so quickly, and summer has as well. So for us, we've got about 4 weeks until our new homeschool year starts. I know a lot of you guys are already homeschoolers, and a lot of you are new to homeschooling. You've got kids that were in public school, and so many of you guys have told me that you're not going to be sending your kids back to school, at least for this upcoming school year. I know it's a really hard situation right now for a lot of you, and it can be overwhelming and stressful. I want to remind you guys and give you guys some tips and suggestions for how homeschooling can be fun, especially if you are pulling kids out of public school and homeschooling them. You know, you might think it's got to be really like strict and rigid, and you might tend to lose a little bit of the fun, but that's not necessarily the way that it has to be. Also, side note, if you do have kids that are in public school and you're planning to homeschool this upcoming school year, or you're pulling them out in the middle of a school year, I do have a video about transitioning from public school to homeschool, which is what we did with our oldest when she was in the middle of 4th grade. We pulled her out of public school and started homeschooling her. So I definitely have been there. I know there's a huge culture shock and schedule shock that comes with having a kid in public school and then all of a sudden you're homeschooling them. So I will link that video for you guys if you're interested. I think it'll be really helpful. But this one is more the fun, lighthearted side of it, that homeschooling, while it is something that you have to do a lot of research for and planning for, and you do have to take it seriously, that doesn't mean that it can't be fun. Today I have 6 ways that you can make homeschooling fun. It can be something that you and your kids really enjoy. They get excited to do their homeschooling every day, and I think these things will be really helpful for you guys. The first tip I think is really helpful whether you are kind of last minute deciding to homeschool, or you've got a kid that's in public school and you're pulling them out mid-year. No matter what homeschooling space you have, make it fun. You don't have to have a designated room or office to do your homeschooling. A lot of people do their homeschooling in the living room or on the kitchen table. Thankfully, I'm blessed enough to have a home office that was my home office before we started homeschooling, so we kind of converted the second half of it into the homeschool space for the girls when we first started. Now my oldest daughter has her own desk up in the bonus room, and my youngest daughter does her work in my office with me, and she's got her own desk, her own shelves, her own things. And that's really been a blessing that I didn't even know we needed when we bought this house. I had no idea we would actually be homeschooling here. But we are blessed enough to have that space. Whether you do or whether you don't, whatever space you have, make it fun. Even if all of your kids' supplies are in a tote, decorate the tote, get them stickers and puffy paint and let them put their name on it and decorate the way they want. Fun supplies make a big difference. I am still a sucker for stickers, for cute pens, for fun erasers, scented anything, scented markers. Any of that stuff I am still thrilled by as a 40-year-old, and I know a lot of kids are too, and they're motivated by that, and that gets them really excited, because especially if they had been in public school, a lot of times you're not allowed to have fun supplies. You're not allowed to pick the markers that you want. You're not allowed to have a cute pencil box. You're not allowed to have the color folders that you want or the binder. You have to get a certain color of this and a certain brand of that. When you homeschool, you can pick out whatever you want, whatever brand you want. You can decorate things however you want, and that makes it really fun. The second thing I want to suggest, and don't turn me off here, is a class pet. We do have a guinea pig in our schoolroom. And when our dog was little, he's about 100 pounds now, but when he was little and kind of early life, he would fit under my daughter's desk, and he would lay under her desk all day long while she did school. He doesn't do that anymore. We do have the guinea pig. I don't care. It doesn't have to even be a live thing. I mean, you could do, I guess, a goldfish or a betta fish, or if you have a bird. But even if you don't want to have a real animal, which I totally get if you don't, because our guinea pig is super smelly and loud sometimes. We love her, but she's a little problematic sometimes. But you don't have to have a real pet. When I say a class pet, just something that lives in the homeschool room or in the homeschool space that can be motivating for kids. So it could be one of those little plastic figurines you get like at Hobby Lobby. It could be a stuffed animal that they only keep in their homeschool area on their desk, and it's only there for them when they're working well and quietly and following instructions and doing their work. Another really fun part of homeschooling is you can do it anywhere. And I think especially for kids that are coming out of public school when they're very strict about sitting at your desk or having a certain schedule and only doing certain things in certain ways or certain places, when you homeschool, for the most part, you can do it wherever you want. You can do it in your bed, you can do it outside, you can do it in a tent, you can do it on the couch, in your pajamas, wherever you want to do it, you can do it. And I think that's a really fun treat for kids, especially in the beginning, when they realize that They can do school wherever they want. I know for both of my girls when they were younger, going outside and doing their work on the little ledge above our slide on the playground was like the biggest deal for them. My youngest will still do it sometimes if I have the tent set up in the backyard. She likes to do it in the tent. Sometimes they do it on the patio table back there. So it's just a fun way to move around, and remember that you don't have to do your schooling at a desk. That is definitely not the way it has to be when you homeschool, and I think it makes it a lot more fun for kids. Another really fun thing you can do to add fun to your homeschool, and again, especially if you've got kids that were in public school and they're used to not being able to pick what they do, what they read, what they learn, when they learn it, and field trips they go on and things like that. When you homeschool, all of that stuff is pretty much up to you. Now, I realize some states have certain curriculum or certain guidelines they have to follow as far as what they study in a given year. But for the most part, you can pick and choose to do unit studies about whatever your kids are interested in. So if you have a kid that's really into dinosaurs, you can do an entire chapter, an entire unit study, an entire year studying dinosaurs, or a semester about botany, or guinea pigs, dolphins, whatever they're interested in. If they're really interested in a certain time period in history, you can plan whatever field trips that you want to go on as a homeschooling family that you would not necessarily get that luxury in public school. You kind of just go where they tell you to go. Get online, Google different places in your area, museums, and a lot of places will actually give discounts to homeschoolers, and ask your kids, be like, what do you want to learn about this year? What field trips would you like to go on? Let them give you some suggestions, and then you take that list and kind of narrow it down to what's really realistic for you as their parent. But it makes it so much more fun. It makes homeschooling so much more relaxing and so much more of a blessing to you and to your kids when they have a lot more control over what they do, when they do it, and what they learn. Another really fun thing you can do when you homeschool is a homeschool rewards store. I did a video about this several years ago, and I've gotten questions about whether or not we're still using it. Yes, we definitely are. I think some type of reward incentive type program, whether it be an actual store or you just give like extra screen time or however you want to handle it. But I do definitely think some type of reward system is really beneficial for your homeschool. We didn't do it for the first few years and nobody was really any worse off. But I noticed a lot of change when we started the homeschool reward store, and I set it up and I had a list of set things they were required to do to earn what we call Loki bucks. Loki's our dog, and I just found this like fake money template online and printed them out, and they earn Loki bucks based on certain things that I want them to do. So they got a certain grade on a paper, they turned in all their schoolwork at the end of the day, they cleaned up their desk. There's quite a few things on the list that they can earn Loki bucks if they do them. And then they save them up and they go to the reward store whenever they have enough, and they buy different things that I have in the store. So you don't have to spend a lot of money on it. You can just make little tickets that say like, 5 minutes extra screen time, or going to the park with your friends, going to get a donut, however much time and effort and money you want to put into it or not. Make it whatever you're able to do and make it motivating for your kids, and you'll be surprised at, I think, how well it works. And the last thing that we do to make homeschooling fun, and this is something we did even when my oldest was in public school, it's something my mom did with my brother and I when we were in school. She always got us a back to school gift. And that's just been a really fun tradition that I've liked carrying on with the girls. Every year it's something different. Every year it's a different amount of things or a different amount of money that I spend. But I think it's a really fun way to start out the school year. We take their pictures with their little sign that tells what grade they're going to be in. Sometimes I'll do like the year beginning interview. I haven't done that the last few years because I kind of forgot. And I'm going to show you guys what I got them this year for their back to school gift. So I've got the girls' things laid out, and I got quite a few things this year, but I did get a good deal on pretty much everything. First of all, is this not the most beautiful stainless steel water bottle you've ever seen? It's a really big one, and I am slowly cycling out our plastic bottles and things, even though they're BPA free. I'm still trying to get rid of a lot of those and get everybody's stainless bottles. So these I got at Kroger. I got one for my oldest daughter too, and I'll show you that in a minute. These I got at Kroger. They were 75% off, so I paid, I think, $3 or $4 for these. Same thing at Justice. They were having a 50% off sale, so I got these mystery scented scrunchies for this is my youngest, by the way. Mystery scented scrunchies, which who knew that scented scrunchies were a thing, but I'm all about anything scented. So that was 50% off. The little fake nails were 50% off. And then there was a 3-pack of these scented puzzle erasers. So like all the icing and stuff comes off. It was a set of 3. So I'm going to give each girl one, and then I'll put the other one in the homeschool reward store. So I got that one for my youngest. Then I got a 3-pack of these micro scented squeezamals. There's kind of a scented theme going on here. She still really likes these. So you get 2 that you can see and one that's a mystery. So there's 3 in this box. I'll show you in a minute with my oldest. She has 3 things that are individual, but they're kind of equaling the same as this 3-pack. So that's for my youngest. And then I got her an organic EOS, a strawberry EOS lip balm. Really fine tipped ink pen, but it's also erasable. And then also from Amazon, I think I showed these on Instagram. They are erasers on one end, and then on the other end, they have this roller ball that when you roll it over top of eraser dust, it will suck it up into this little compartment, and then you can throw that away. So that's all for my youngest. My oldest also has a stainless bottle. She's got the 3 face masks. So these 3 together equal this in my youngest, and she's really into skincare and face masks and stuff. And I got her 3 of those different kinds. Also got one of the erasable pens from Amazon. She also has a big and a small eraser from Amazon. So her big one is a cat and the small one is a frog. And just for fun, I'm putting one of these scented puzzle erasers in her bag as well. And I thought it was cute because the sprinkles and the icing kind of match her water bottle. She has 2 lip products. I got her a light pink Revlon lip gloss, and then the EOS that I got my youngest, it was actually a 2-pack. So I gave my youngest this one, and then my oldest is getting this one. They're both organic and they're both the strawberry scent. And the last thing for my oldest daughter is this little set of 3 hoopy earrings. I got them from Amazon. They were really affordable, and she's got a double piercing now. She got her 2nd hole for her birthday this year. So I thought she would like having these little hoops, and they're supposed to be real silver. Who knows? They probably aren't. But they were a really good price, and I think she'll like those. Those are my 6 things you can do to make homeschooling more fun. I think homeschooling is really fun anyway. It's definitely challenging. It's definitely not something I think somebody would do because they want the easy way out, because it's definitely not. If you're doing it the right way, it's really not easy. But that doesn't mean that it's not worth the effort, and that doesn't mean that it doesn't get easier in some ways as your kids get older. There's definitely different stages of homeschooling. There's some stages that are harder than others. There's some years that may be harder than others, and this may be the year for you if you're just starting out. You may think this is so hard, and how am I supposed to do this the entire time they're in school? And it may always be a struggle for you, but I think the first year or 2 especially is the most difficult, especially if you're pulling a kid out of public school and they're used to one way of life and you're used to one way of life. And then all of a sudden everybody's thrown into a different type of lifestyle, and you're in charge of their education, and they're home 24/7, and you're trying to juggle that with other things you've got to do. So definitely the first year or 2, just like marriage, is the hardest. But I think once you get into a rhythm, once you learn to give yourself some grace, once your kids kind of figure out how to see you as their parent and their teacher, things do get easier, and you will get more confidence as you continue on through homeschooling. That doesn't mean you'll be completely confident necessarily, and you'll not worry about any of the decisions that you make. But I do think there is a certain comfort that comes with realizing that over time, your kids are thriving, your kids are learning, and it's not as scary and daunting as maybe you thought it was. You do maybe have more patience than you thought you did. I know that was a big one for me. I was like, I don't have enough patience to be a homeschooler, but turns out I do. I think God gives you what you need when you need it, and I definitely needed it, and He definitely gave me an extra boost of patience. Not to say I'm always patient, but I'm more patient than I used to be. So those are my things that I think you guys will really enjoy doing with your kids. Maybe you want to do all of them. Maybe you only like 1 or 2 of these ideas, but just throwing that out there, some things that have made a difference for us in our homeschool. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to check out my homeschooling playlist. Every homeschooling video I've ever made is in that playlist. I think you'll find it really helpful. And make sure you subscribe before you head out, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.